Vultr claims it offers cheaper cloud servers than the big providers, but does that price still hold up once your project starts scaling? I dug deep into Vultr's pay-as-you-go pricing, from entry cloud instances to optimized compute, GPUs, and bare metal, to see what you really pay. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which Vultr setup fits your workload, and which one could quietly drive your costs up. But before we go into the details of Vultr pricing to figure out what is best for you and how to avoid overpaying, let's get one thing clear first. Who is Vultr actually built for? Vultr is specifically designed for developers, startups, SaaS companies, and businesses that need affordable but powerful cloud infrastructure. Think of it this way: if you're someone who needs to deploy applications, host websites, run AI workloads, or spin up development environments quickly, this is your playground. The strongest thing Vultr has going for it is how it combines high-performance computing with dead simple deployment. You get global data centers spread across 32 locations worldwide, flexible pay-as-you-go pricing, and full control over your environments without the headache of hyperscale platforms like AWS or Google Cloud that can feel overwhelming. But don't just take my word for it. Here's one user I came across who's been using Vultr's VPS for quite some time now. He said the system runs very stable, and what stood out to me was his point about Vultr offering some special services that let him build an email server for his company himself. He also mentioned that Vultr really takes care of customers and responds to requests properly. This tells us something important. Vultr isn't just built for developers who want raw power. They're built for people who actually need to get things done, whether that's running a business application or setting up specialized services that other platforms make complicated. Okay, now that we know who exactly this platform is built for, let's take a deeper look into Vultr's pricing and break down what you're actually getting for your money. And I have to say, Vultr keeps things refreshingly simple. Most services are billed by the hour, but capped at a predictable monthly maximum. This means you only pay for what you actually run, but you still have a clear monthly cost limit in your head. No surprise bills by the end of the month. So let me walk you through the main service categories, starting with the newest addition to their lineup, the VX1 Cloud Compute. So Vultr recently rolled out their VX1 instances, and honestly, this might be the sweet spot for a lot of people. The VX1 boasts up to 82% better performance per dollar compared to leading hyperscaler cost efficiency optimized compute plans out there. And these instances support booting from Vultr's high-performance block storage, faster networking up to 50 gigabits per second, dedicated CPU resources with full virtualization support, and instant provisioning in under 15 seconds. Plus, they're 48% more energy efficient than Vultr's older optimized cloud compute plans. The VX1 instances are billed on actual hours used each month without a hard cap at 672 hours. They're designed for cloud-native and enterprise workloads where performance matters. Alright, now let's talk about the foundation of Vultr's offering, which is the cloud compute. These are these virtual machines that run on shared vCPUs, and honestly, they handle most everyday tasks really well. We're talking low-traffic websites, blogs, CMS platforms, development and test environments, small databases, basically the stuff most of us need day in and day out. But you do have options here too. You can choose high-performance plans with newer AMD or Intel CPUs and NVMe SSD storage, which makes a notable difference in speed. Or you can go with the regular plans if you're just testing things out or don't need anything that fast. Now, if your applications need more consistent muscle, the optimized cloud compute option is where you want to look. These virtual machines run on fully dedicated, new generation AMD APYC vCPUs. And because the vCPUs are dedicated, you get fast, consistent performance that business applications often require. These are built for applications where consistent speed matters. Think e-commerce sites during Black Friday, financial applications, real-time data processing, anything where a slow moment costs you money. But the cloud GPU option is where things get really interesting. Vultr makes accelerated computing actually affordable. We're talking about provisioning VMs or bare metal servers with GPU power in minutes. The pricing is shown on demand and billed hourly, which is huge if you're training machine learning models or running rendering jobs that don't need to run 24/7. You can spin up GPU instances when you need them, shut them down when you don't, and only pay for the hours used. This is the kind of flexibility that makes Vultr pricing so attractive compared to the hyperscalers that charge an arm and a leg for GPU access. For AI workloads, machine learning training, 3D rendering, video encoding, or scientific simulations, having affordable GPU access changes the game. Now, if you need the full power of physical hardware without any virtualization layer, Vultr also has you covered with that with their bare metal options. These are single-tenant servers, meaning only you have access to the resources. The convenience here is wild. You get control of an actual physical server, but with Vultr's automation and orchestration. So you're not waiting days for hardware to be provisioned. It happens fast. You click, you deploy, you're up and running. Then there's the Kubernetes engine options. This one's worth calling out because it shows how Vultr thinks differently. They provide the control plane free of charge. Compare that to the big tech clouds where they typically charge at least $70 a month just for the control plane in their managed Kubernetes service. When you use Vultr Kubernetes engine, you only pay for the underlying worker nodes and associated resources like block storage and load balancers. If you're running Kubernetes, that difference can add up really fast. Over a year, you could save hundreds or even thousands of dollars just on the control plane alone. And it doesn't stop there. Vultr offers a whole ecosystem of services that plug right into their infrastructure, and they include Direct Connect, databases, block storage, object storage, file system with NVMe, storage gateways, CDN, NAT gateways, load balancers, serverless inference, and various add-on services. So what I appreciate is that everything follows the same transparent pricing philosophy too. You know what you're paying, and you know when you're paying it, and there aren't any hidden fees waiting to bite you. One user I saw who's been using Vultr for over 2 years now said he's always had a positive experience with the platform. Their support generally responds within an hour, and the pricing is really competitive. He mentioned having close to 100% uptime on his servers for just over 2 years now. Yeah, that's the kind of track record that builds trust. Another user put it really simply. He said that if you want to use services that work, a user-friendly and hassle-free platform with servers spread across different regions of the globe, then hire Vultr. That is a pretty straightforward endorsement, yeah. But the question still remains, is the cost of Vultr's subscription actually worth it, or is it overpriced for what you get? Well, here's my honest take after months inside the platform and analyzing countless user experiences. If you are a developer, a startup founder, or someone running applications that need reliable infrastructure, Vultr starts to look like a really smart choice. The combination of hourly billing with monthly caps means that you can scale up when you need power and scale down when you don't. I found this user who's been a Vultr customer for at least 5 years now. He said he wouldn't think of going anywhere else. In his words, pricing is great, service is fabulous, downtime is pretty much non-existent. Another user pointed out the good prices, the reliable platform, and the many choices including multiple Linux flavors. That variety matters when you're running different types of applications. I also dug into some Reddit threads to see what other users are saying about Vultr, and here's a Reddit thread where a user asked for opinions on Vultr. He set up a server for a few dollars a month and wanted to know if anyone else had tested it out. The responses were pretty consistent. One user said that he uses it for WordPress sites, and it's fast and reliable, no complaints. Another mentioned having 2 of the older low-cost boxes and never having issues with those either. They both work well, and there's plenty of other reviews and comments, so I recommend doing your own research and looking into them. But if you're ready to get started with Vultr and want to lock in the best possible deal without overpaying, here's how to do it. Head down to the description of this video and click the link to sign up. It's that simple. We've worked to find the highest discount deals currently available for Vultr, so make sure to try it out and see what you think.